Were you an athlete, school teacher, or maybe worked in a corporate world? Our careers, they tend to be the way that we identify ourselves. Now, what happens when that identity is taken from you? We found ours in real estate. Now, let us help you find yours on the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast, starting now.
Welcome to the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm your host, Stratton Brown.
And I'm your host, Michael Butler, guys. Thank you for tuning in with us.
Man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, and shout out Dylan Miracle. He just locked up his first deal.
Shout out, man. Congratulations, dude. That's no easy feat. Miracle.
Congrats, bro. It's a huge hurdle. Huge hurdle.
Yeah. Hell yeah, it is.
But how What's you doing, bro?
I'm doing good.
Pushing, bro. Traveling. I'm going to be gone for a month. I wanted to go to Italy for a month this year. And everything kind of got locked down, and so we didn't want to just waste money.
Yeah.
And so we'll be in Salt Lake all of July with my dad. And then hopefully next year we'll for sure go somewhere for an entire month. I want to see how long I can make it go, honestly.
How long you can travel and stuff like that?
Yeah, just travel and never come home.
Yeah. Shit. It's crazy. I don't know if I can stay on that long.
Bro, I'm just talking to DM. DM traveled for 7 years around the world. This was before he had kids.
Yeah.
He left his office and he just never came back.
Fuck, that's crazy, dude.
Right? And his businesses were running. And for me, right, I don't really have to go anywhere. I'm not a big appointment guy.
Yeah.
And so I really could just be all right, bro, let's travel. There's no difference. The only reason I come to my office is for this. It's for the studio.
Well, you got to come for not peace of mind, but, I feel like I get a lot of stuff done by being at the office. It's just uninterrupted, uninterrupted thoughts, able to kind of iron out some things that you got to iron out, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Without getting distracted.
Landon, we'll for sure connect, bro. Send me a message next Tuesday. We'll link up.
If you guys are in here, man, go ahead and drop a hi, hello. So we know who's up in here so we can talk to you.
So I like the office because I can come here and focus and there's no distractions. I'd say you're my biggest distraction, but now we're trying to fucking push out this course.
And I'm your biggest distraction?
No, I mean, bro, you're the person I talk to the most. You're one of my best friends at this point, dude. I don't talk to anybody else except Mike.
Yeah.
I'll go get cigars with Adam tonight, but besides that, bro, I talk to in our market and people I talk to on a regular basis. I'd say Dino, you, Adam Abadjan, Chase.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those are the only people who I even talk to, and that's not even spending quality time with them. It's hey, what the fuck is going on with this business venture? Yeah, more times than not.
It usually has something to do with work. Yeah, I agree with you. Same thing, man. I don't, I'm trying to get better at it now. It's weird because you spend a lot of time trying to limit distractions, and then you look like a fucking asshole because you don't talk to nobody.
Bro, you're fine, but you're finally hopping on board. I try and network so much, but at the same time, so much shit has to get done.
Yeah,
that I feel like an asshole because I don't really talk to anybody, and I send people my calendar link. Bro, you gotta book a time on my calendar. But if it doesn't get in there,
that shit. My friends reach out to me asking if we want to do something, and I'm like, oh man, of course, yeah, we'll go. And he's like, hey man, make sure you just put me in your calendar,
bro. You have to. if you're a business owner at this point, right, and you got all these different things going on, if it doesn't make it in my calendar or my planner, that shit might as well just never have happened or never have been planned.
Never, because I'll forget about it.
And then, bro, I'm talking birthdays, anniversaries.
It'd be like that,
events,
man.
Weddings. I had a wedding this weekend. That's why I'm coming back to San Diego. So I'd have flown in Salt Lake. I forgot about the wedding. I'm like, Kalani, I got to go to this mastermind. She's like, you forgot about the wedding? What? No,
damn, bro, that's fucked up, man. That's a big moment for somebody. Kind of friend forgets the wedding, bro.
Bro, what kind of family member forgets the wedding? It's not even a friend.
Dang, bro, that's some cold shit right there.
But we'll make it happen, bro. What do you got going on? How hyped are you for the course?
Oh man, shit. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You've pounded out some videos, man. So just sit down. I think the biggest thing is you want to make sure, because a lot of it comes down to hustle, I think, early on. And so really sitting down, because I mean, you're telling people about systems and processes and really you're just giving them information on what stuff is. And so just making sure that, you know, you're giving people, you know, the best information as possible, even though a lot of it sometimes is moving, right? We talked about, you know, comping today. Yep. And that's something, man, it's comping properties and coming up with ARVs and stuff like that. It's hard because it's ever evolving. The market goes up and down. What someone may pay last month is going to be different what someone might pay this month. So I think one of the biggest things I had learned, not early on, probably like a year into it, was when I started comping a little bit different, just based off market changes and stuff like that. You find out that, you know, you've been losing out on a lot of deals because you're severely underpriced when you go and offer somebody just based off of the standard of comping something.
You can lose out on, we're talking about this. You can lose out on a lot of money if you take like the regular wholesale approach now.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I was talking about in Michigan, bro. Like we're selling shit at 90.
Yeah, that's just weird. It's not weird, but you know, that's just wild as fuck.
Right, we're selling stuff at 90% of ARV, and we're just selling it on a yield as to compared to out here. You're selling it to flippers, so you got to really know your market. And even some stuff out here in Fresno, you can sell it to people on yield. It just depends on who you're talking to.
And so a lot of that comes down to your buyers, bro. Understanding like the numbers that I got now is really just reaching out to someone who does do flips, who does, you know, take down rentals, and really just saying like, hey, when you analyze your deals, like how do you analyze your deals? What are your numbers? What, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you can have an industry standard, but it changes. It really changes it on who, you know, on who it is really. And so I find someone who I know buys a lot of stuff, and I feel like they're aggressive. And so for the most part, I take their numbers. And so then in my mind, I'm like, if I can get it at this price, I know so-and-so for sure will buy it. And then there's always someone that's higher than that person. You know what I mean? So that's really how you figure that shit out. Yep. You know, you may have John Doe who, you know, buys at freaking 80%, who's aggressive in your market. But at the same time, there's way more aggressive people than John Doe. So, you know, if you lock it up at 80%, someone's going to buy it at 90. Someone's going to buy it at 85, you know, so it's a mind game.
And you got all the new buyers coming into the market, right? Because now what we're seeing is like a flood of people seeing real estate is hot. Everybody's getting a real estate license more than before. You got all these people like, oh man, real estate's hot. I'm about to flip a house. And they can afford right now, if everything stays the same, to fucking buy on speculation and have that buy it and then fix it up. And then hopefully it keeps appreciating and then they can sell it to make a profit. That's what a lot of these people are doing though, is they're buying on speculation. And then if anything does flatten or God forbid go down, then they're losing their ass.
And that's what makes it tricky too, because it could be a tight deal where you're like, man, if I flip it, I'm only making $10,000. I was looking at one today. If you flip it, you're only making 10 grand. But then it's just like, well, shit, in order to get it locked up, if I give asking price at this point from the person, you know, wholesaler, whatever it may be, if I give them asking price, say 6 months from now, you know, 5 months from now, how much is the market going to appreciate where that $10,000 that you originally calculated could $1,000 deal? I mean, you look at the stuff, we're in June. So you look at the stuff that you would have bought in January,
bro,
but with a $20,000 spread, bro, you'd be pushing like 50 grand.
All of them. You're making, I mean, Pritchard is a perfect example of it. Mr. Maldives, Mr. No Work is, he bought several at like in January. And like he closed out the year super strong. He's like, bro, these numbers are getting crazy. And then he's like, bro, I've bought in some that have been on our books for a while, and this shit is insane. Yeah. He was like, it was gonna make us 25 grand. We're pulling out 75s.
It's been crazy, bro, the last 6 months. And so trying to go back to some of those leads that you might have had earlier in the year where the numbers didn't make sense. You try to go back to them like, hey, bro, so you said you wanted 150. Now let's talk about this 150. Oh, the market's unchanged. You know.
But if you guys have any of those in your database, like go touch them. Go touch them right now, because a lot of people in their head just have a number, and it's an irrational number. It's not linked to anything. There's the money's already spent in their head. I need 150. I'm gonna go buy that goddamn boat. I got the boat. I got my house. Nothing else matters like that. And that's truly like what they want, right? Because as soon as they come up with something, the money's already spent in their head. So when that money's already spent, they're stuck to it and they can't buy what they want anymore.
And that 150 wasn't, it was definitely wasn't a deal in January when you're looking at ARV sitting around, 200 grand. But now 150 with an ARV around 250, 260, that's a fucking slam dunk deal, right? So, and a lot of people that they're not invested in the market like that. Like you said, the numbers already in their head. This is what they, like you said, it's spent. They already know what they're going to do with it. It makes sense based off of what they owe on it, right? The debt still is going down when it comes to, the number that they were asking for. So they're looking at it as, I wanted 150 in January, if I can get 150 now, I'm gonna make a little bit more money than what than what I originally thought I was gonna make, because the debt pay down. And so it becomes a slam dunk deal for somebody else, but you got to be touching those old leads. So one thing that I did is I literally go into my CRM and I pull up all the people who was marked high motivation. Because if that means it was somewhat close when you were originally talking to them, or they were waiting a couple weeks, whatever it may be, you needing to talk to somebody. So touch base on them, man. It's been 6 months. Go touch base with them to see where they are, see if they're still motivated to sell.
Well, you should be touching base with them every 30 days. Let's let those people know, or to lose out on a close to 6-figure deal to Michael Butler because your people and you didn't touch base with the right person at the right time. It happens and it hurts.
Or listen to conversations you don't want to listen to just to build rapport.
No, right. I had something else I wanted to say as we're going and pushing, getting in front of them. Oh, ask them what they're going to do with the money, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them what they're going to do with the money. Like, get it. And that way you can help paint that picture for them.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What are you going to do with the cash when you sell this thing, right? Because if you're good enough, Mike, you're really good at building rapport, right? So you could just make it a joke. Oh, yeah, what are you going to do with all this money you're about to get, man?
All this money, man. You said you're going to be sitting fat. You going to lend it back out to me?
Right? Like,
I'm going to be broke after I buy it. I'm going to be broke after I buy it. So I'm going to be looking for some private money lenders.
And that's another way to pick up private money, right? Mm-hmm. So you can pick up private money and you can see into what are they spending it on? You can help them paint that picture, get them committed. And then that way, when it's all said and done, they sign everything else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my uncle just bought a boat. Oh, that's the one you're looking at? Oh, man.
Bro.
Yeah. If I'm able to help you get there, how soon are you looking to pull that trigger?
If I'm able to help you get there.
If I'm able to help you get there, man, just out in Shaver, just chilling. As hot as it is, you want to be on some water.
Right, but we gotta know what they want to do with the cash, right? And why they're selling and everything else. But that is so big, especially now. I'm telling you, go back and hit all those leads. We have
he's in the follow-up.
We have one that we're working that we've been talking to for a year. She's been stuck on 170.
Mm-hmm.
And we're waiting on one of them to go, a deal next to it to go pending. Well, the pending one to mark is sold, so we could just lock it up at 170 and then we could dispo it.
So why wait for it? Why wait for it? Just lock it up.
Because you never know.
Or talk to the agent, see what's going on that way. Because if it's already pending, it's already in escrow. At that point, it's like, okay, well, what's up?
Yeah.
Because that's what we did with a house that we're looking to purchase in the next month or so. We were finding comps around 365-ish, but that was in November, December, because not a lot of stuff has gone on sale in that area. And so me just understanding the market in general, I'm already thinking in my mind that we'll be able to, refi somewhere around 410, right? And there's a home that went on the market at pretty damn comparable that went on the market at 450. And so I'm like, fuck, well, if this thing sells,
it's over.
It's over, right? And so what I just did it today. I called the agent because it was pending. So and pending is one of those things where it's just like, okay, it could be pending, but they got accepted an offer at 430 or 420. You know what I mean? So I just called the agent and told him I was looking at a listing that they had. She mentioned that it was going to be closing at the end of this week. Oh. And so I said, if you don't mind me asking, what was the offer that was accepted? She told me that it was 450. And she said the appraisal came back at that number also. And so I was like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing for it to go pending. Airbnb? Yeah. So it's one thing for it to go pending, or to get an offer accepted at 450. But if the appraisal was still 410, it don't matter. But so I guess the biggest part of that statement was that the appraisal came in at the list price.
Well, and if they don't, for whatever reason, you got to bring cash to the table and everything else.
But it's going to be hard to get an appraiser to be like, oh, okay, that house sold at 450. Like it's going to go based off, they're going to look at kind of what the appraisal was at, because, they can say that it could be worth 450, but at the end of the day, you're still going to have to get, the appraisal done on it and stuff like that.
What price are you buying it at? How much money are you going to make on the refinance? Or are you going to leave it all in?
It'll probably be left all in. I'd probably end up leaving money into it the way that it is, because we're going to fully debt this bitch out.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you find this one again?
This was a driving for dollars, man. It was it's in my mother-in-law's neighborhood.
Look at that.
So it's a neighborhood that I've been interested in for the long time. I always said if I can get one in the neighborhood right like this, anything that goes on sale, anything that goes on sale over here, I'm like, I'm gonna try my damnest to buy it. And so I've been talking to the lady for like a year and a half. She's just dragging her feet, and the same thing right now. She's dragging her feet, man. We got to have an estate sale, but the price of the stuff that's in the home isn't necessarily worth their time, and so it's really just waiting for her to get through the house. You know what I mean? And so, it still has to make it across the finish line. But as of right now, I mean, we got it for a pretty damn good price.
I love it. What's your biggest issue in your business right now, dude?
We're ironing a lot of stuff out. So, I mean, as of right now, I don't think it's necessarily in the wholesaling side. I mean, I'm taking a course myself on the data and stuff like that, and trying to get more organized with the data, making sure that we're hitting all the not hitting all the leads, but hitting all the records. Because right now we're just cold calling. We're not doing as much texting. I'm still texting, but it's so inconsistent. It's not something that I'm hanging my hat on. I just do it if, I got idle time. So honestly, it's getting better at starting to track my KPIs, getting better at finding out how much it costs me to get deals, man.
All right. Really dialing that in.
Yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing, coming up with a better process, coming up with a better system to be able to look at my numbers, see how many dials we have, how many contacts we have, how many contracts or people looking to get an offer, and then just going from there.
I feel that. What are our biggest ones? Number one is fucking qualified people.
Oh, hiring?
Bro, hiring's a pain. Hiring's a lot. I'd say hiring, and then KPIs for everything, bro. Like just getting even more dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
In one of our businesses, we don't do any marketing.
Yeah.
But then still knowing your sales numbers. And then in the real estate business, since I don't have to really pay for any of the callers, I don't track those KPIs.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like, okay, like leads are coming in. Are we closing deals?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start tracking those significantly more. And then I think I'm just going to start like really doubling down and like just paying my own company, because like I built it with just callers built into it. So it just runs for free for me.
Yeah.
But now I got some other things I'm trying to.
And that's kind of
Midwest.
I want to throw some money into it, but I'm not at this point. I'm just not comfortable throwing more money into it until I'm able to know exactly what I'm throwing money at. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's where I'm at. We're getting to a point where we're, obviously we want to start buying, whether it be Airbnbs or just rentals in general. I think we're ready to kind of take that next step. Shaking your head no for.
No, bro, I refuse to ever buy a regular rental ever again.
Oh, well,
no. Single family rental. Ever.
When you talk about buying a rental and stuff like that, we're buying rentals that at the end of the day, it's in we're very specific. We have the 2 zip codes that we're looking for.
Michael Zuber approach.
Right. But even at that, he's more dialed into 1 zip code. So
yeah.
I'm going to be 27-93727 and 93728. And even in 93728, that's even going to be kind of.
There's a little bit. You know
what I mean? Like that's going to be one you got to drive by and really just peep the area, because anything that I'm going to buy, it has to work for me. It has to work. It has to be in a good location for Airbnb. And that's kind of my thought. So rentals that I'm buying, yes, I want them to pencil as rentals. But my biggest thought is for them to be Airbnbs. So if I can't picture that as an Airbnb as of now, then most likely I won't purchase it. I'm not looking to do any flips or anything like that. But if I can get at a good price, flip it and turn it into that, then yes, that's what we'll do. So that's kind of where we're moving into. Just spoke with my wife about that. And so being able to just make offers, and I'm a people's person. I'm the person that's going to try to negotiate some stuff. She loves numbers. She loves stuff like that. Good. So right now we're pretty much going to fix up this office a little bit more for her, make it her own thing. And that's kind of where it's going to work. As I get referrals and stuff like that, I'm going to shoot them to her, and she's just going to tell me where we need to be.
I love it, dude. I had a dude call me the other day. He's like, bro, you have rentals, right? He was like, I'm getting these 3 deals coming in, and I'm wondering if I want to take them down. And we had to have this entire discussion of like, all right, bro, number one, what do you want your life to look like? And are they single families? One of them was owner financed for $20K down.
Nice.
I was like, I mean, that one isn't bad. I would wrap it. I'm never, ever, ever going to do another single family rental again when you have the Airbnb option and the cash flow so much greater.
Yeah. And see, and what makes it, so you hear a lot of it in the sense you want it to pencil as a regular rental.
Yep.
Because a lot of things are going to cash flow as an Airbnb. But so here's my thought with appreciation, with the money that you can make. It's I don't want to say I hate to have like a scarcity mindset in the sense of like, yeah, you could probably cash flow 150 on it as a regular rental. Probably wouldn't buy it, but it's a fucking cash cow as an Airbnb. Like I might pull a trigger on those.
Yeah.
Like I may pull a trigger on a retail house. Like, bro, like at the end of the day, like it makes sense. Like there's a house in my neighborhood where the person's probably going to want like 280 for it. It has a pool. I know that in this area, I mean, they're going for like 160 a night. So it's going to cash flow $2,000 to $3,000 a month. What's a mortgage on a retail house at 280? Like it's not shit, bro. Rent is like 1,700.
Right.
So at that point, it's like, yeah, it's a retail lead, and everything that you tell yourself as an investor is that, you know, I can't buy anything retail, or I won't buy anything retail. But it's like you're low-key missing out on opportunity by just not buying retail if your strategy is Airbnb.
Bro, I was talking to him. I was like, what do you want your life to look like? Like boots on the ground, everything else. I was like, he lives in Vegas now, and these houses are in Houston. He was going to make like 100K from wholesaling these houses.
Oh, I was like, I'm wholesaling all day.
Bro, I'm wholesaling those things all day.
I haven't even thought about
that cash locked up to me. I can make more money. I'll go buy an e-commerce store. And then if I really wanted to, I would go throw that money into, let's say, like a syndication of someone who you know personally. Or I'd go do some lending, do some bridge loans, something else that gets my money working. The only other reason that I like my rentals now, and that like why we're buying self-storage, is so I can get the tax depreciation. But like as far as, me and Kyle own 3 rentals. It shot us off like $1,700 in cash. And that doesn't change our lives whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like you have to really stack those things for them to mean anything for you, bro. That's what I think, right? Because like let's say, so ours went down, our cash flow went down to like $50 because of this fucking tenant bullshit, and we're throwing in thousands of dollars a month for some reason on this one house.
Yeah.
Like that's off of 3 rentals. In order to reach something to where something happens and then it pays for itself off of its own cash flows quite a bit. So unless you really have like a money problem, is the next thing I was telling him, like, bro, do you have a money problem this year?
Yeah, capital.
If you do, then like, okay, like let's keep them and see what we can do. But you can still write off the e-commerce store for at least a little bit. And then I'd use that other cash. He doesn't invest into himself. I was like, bro, go find a legit mentor. Yeah. Go find someone who's going to take your life to the next level, and you have that cash and you have more. That is going to exponentially grow your income.
Yeah, hands down. Sure. And so here's another thought when I talk about like buying retail homes, right? And again, when I say retail, bro, you're not going in there competing with people freaking trying to buy $20,000, $30,000 over the listing price. Like if you can get it at listing price and there's some comps in the area, obviously some stuff selling a little bit higher, you got to come in and do some paint or whatever to the property. Like, right, that's a good deal when you talk about Airbnb. And here's kind of my thought. We talked about Jason and how he went and he was buying stuff that some people wouldn't buy, right? And he got to a point to where he had enough doors where they were making him enough money to where he was able to make other moves, and then he was able to get rid of some of them, right? And so my thought with even buying retail is, you know, if you can get into something, you know, putting between $15,000 to $30,000 down, right? Because you can get up to so many loans through a bank, and you get to 10 rentals or 10 Airbnbs, you're sitting at about $20,000 a month, right? So what if you bought it retail? right? If you
You're
can put
having a
that bitch right back on
completely
the
different conversation about everything you're doing in your life. If you know every morning you wake up and no matter what you do, 20K comes in. You're having a
20K a
completely
month. So
different
now think
conversation.
about it. Now 20K a month. Yes, now you're getting more e-commerce stores, right? You're making other investments. You're buying cheap. Maybe you're doing flips. Like you're doing something to diversify that money that's going to bring back more money. So then, if you need to go get rid of some of these homes because you're afraid that it's going to fucking flop or something, you can do that because now you done got all that you needed out of that Airbnb.
Well, and you can
Right?
stop, dude. You can stop working with Airbnb. You cannot
Yeah.
stop working with wholesale.
No, you can't. And so that's my thought. I'm like, if you can get your cash flow to a certain point where you're able to start throwing your money into other things that's going to bring you maybe another 20K. Like if this one flops, bro, dude, you could just fucking sell it at a loss because it doesn't matter at that point. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can not at a loss, but I mean, even if you break even.
You can sell a lot of things at a loss now. A good friend of mine, he bought an office building behind us.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, I took a 100K loss. I was like, what? He was like, bro, I needed the tax write-off anyway. He's like, fuck it. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, asshole.
He took 100K loss, but it ain't like it came out of his pocket. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like 100K that he's not going to get back that he paid for the home. But like the other
It's
investments
still a
that he
tax
had,
write-off, though, right? With
it's
how
still
much
a tax
money he's
write-off,
bringing
and
in.
he's making money elsewhere. So in all honesty, like he took 100K loss, but the cash flow might have allowed him to do so much more that brought so much more money in. So he may have taken a loss on that property, but he might have gained everywhere else around him.
Oh, yeah, bro. Like, you're having completely different conversations, and you can make confident, aggressive decisions when you have that money coming in, no matter what you do.
But I looked
Like,
at fucking rent, and you're looking at rent at like $1,700 and $1,900 for a 3-bedroom, 1 bath.
right, we pay $2,000 a month where we live.
That's wild. That's why when we started, remember rent, we were looking. I mean, you're 2-bedroom, you're probably around $1,000. 3-bedroom, you're sitting around $1,200. Bro, I looked at Rent-A-Meter, and that shit blew my mind.
I don't know how Fresno really has an affordable housing issue, bro. I don't know how people can afford to, like, with the lack of commerce here.
Yeah,
it's bananas. Like, it doesn't add up. Like, you got a job down at the corner store, and you're supposed to pay $1,500 in rent for like a 2-bedroom.
bro, that's not. Hey, it is what it is.
It's bananas, though, bro.
You just got to make sure that's not a problem for you.
Oh, hell yeah. Like,
you know what I mean? Like it's unfortunate that that's what it is. But again, supply and demand, man. That's why houses are so expensive right now, because a lot of people are qualified to buy houses, but there's not enough fucking houses. Vice versa. I mean, right? Rent is high. Some people can't afford it. Some people can. I mean, fuck, you gotta change something.
Right. Well, I think the housing market is going to slow here soon.
It'll slow, but it probably won't drop.
No, I don't think it's.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think it drops
like Bitcoin, right? To where how it's, and then it'll come down, and then it'll stabilize, and then like that stabilized point, it'll probably never, ever, ever drop down below that stabilized point again. Like the Great Recession of 2008, it's not going to happen again.
Yeah,
it'll have to be another crazy ass event.
And that's why I think I would be okay buying retail. Like, bro, like the way the appreciation
so the equity
is, bro,
you capture when you don't buy retail, that is the big plus. The equity you capture that adds to your net worth
100%.
when you don't buy retail. That's the big plus of not buying.
But the way appreciation's working right now, bro, you're gonna fucking get some type of equity. Bro, we got some buddies that bought a house 2 years ago. They bought a new build. And it's funny to even say like what they bought it for. I think he said he was there somewhere like around 310, 320. And at the time, it was like, fuck. You know what I mean? Here in Southeast Fresno, you buy a new build around, it was high.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And bro, like new builds in his neighborhood is going for freaking 480. I'm not 480. I'm sorry, 380, 370. It's going up around there. And so at the time when they bought a new build, bro, it's crazy when you got dumbass equity in a new build that you bought 2 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Think about it. You know what I mean?
Bananas when you got crazy equity in a fucking brand.
When you got crazy equity in a new build from that's 2 years old. That's wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
So my thought is, if you can get something under 300 grand, bro, like I think you're going to be pretty damn safe because, and go listen to Michael Zuber. He's going to give you better.
I don't like betting on equity though. That's how people.
I'm not betting on equity, bro. I'm betting on some cash flow right now.
So, and then like when we can take this down a different road when you're breaking down properties. And I like what David Greed says about this. He's like, bro, not everything has to cash flow. Like some of you guys have a money problem, right? If you're a doctor who's making $700,000 a year, that extra $1,000 a month, but you get that tax depreciation and you take the loss and it's still appreciating. He's like, bro, that doesn't phase you. Like if you plan on holding this thing for the next 30 years, like,
and that's what I was gonna say. If you're gonna hold it for a while, like, bro, like, if you ain't making money right now, you ain't nothing changed except you're owning that asset,
right? But then your equity's still going up; it's appreciating all the time. You'll be fine, right? It's just what is your risk tolerance and really what you have going on financially.
Yeah, if you're a wholesaler, bro, and you're bringing in enough money each month, bro, it's not going to kill you to go drop $20,000 deposit to buy a house, whether it doesn't cash flow at that point in time. Like, if it's not an alligator, right? That's what Zuber talks about. If it's not taking money out of your pocket, it becomes a decent fucking bank account. And if you're smart and you buy it at least in the right area, dude, you can turn it into an Airbnb. That shit will cash flow for you. It may not pencil as a rental, but it will cash flow for you for however long you may need it or however long Airbnb may work until you're able to build in that equity.
One thing that I think people don't realize is how cyclical business is, right? To where like a business pops in, everybody hops in and makes their money, and then they know it's like a gold rush, right? So like with Airbnb, fuck it, if anything does happen, get in, get all of your cash flow, make all your money. Because guess what? At the end of it, you're going to have a money problem. That's a better problem than a not having money problem. You can find the next gold rush.
100%. And you know, it hasn't been anything going on yet to make you feel like they're going to start getting rid of it. You know what I mean? I think Kyle did it for 3 years, 4 years before, you know what I mean? Before I even took a look at it. You know what I mean? So if it's been along that long, I could make some pretty damn serious moves before they're able to, you know, ban them or something. You know what I mean?
Well, and then even if they do ban them, bro, just do the month-to-month nurse leases and you're still going to make bank.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so don't shy away from something because you don't know how long it's going to last, bro. Like if it's here for 2 years, bro, like put your money in it, make as much money as possible. It's my thought.
I truly think, bro, the passive income thing, like I used to think like, bro, why are these people like buying all these rentals that only cash for like $100 each? But like, you just need to get cash flow some way or another.
$100 is $100, bro.
$100 is $100. I don't think people really talk about how long it takes to build up the actual cash flow, especially if you go the single family house route, bro. The single family house route is going to take you a long.
I was talking to a seller who about a year ago who worked for the county. And just throughout his 30 years, just working with the county, he just bought rentals. He just saved up money, you know, put money down. Luckily, not luckily, but I mean, he bought, you know, in 2008, you know, so he was able to buy houses on the west side for $40,000,
$10,000,
$29,000. You know, just he was able to buy some pretty damn good properties. And at the time, it probably didn't make sense. But I mean, you look at 13 years later. Dude, homes over there are going for like almost 200 grand.
Bro, they're going on the twos.
Bro, I think there's one right now pending at like 240.
In the six.
So imagine if you bought it for $30,000 13 years ago. Like it wasn't sexy. It wasn't sexy then because they were just sitting there. But imagine if you had fucking 20 of them hoes that you bought at $30,000 and all of them could be worth up to, you know, 220.
I didn't put up any bandit signs in the six because I didn't want anything to do with it.
Crazy, right?
Right.
And the cool part is he saved his money and he bought it cash. So like they were already free and clear.
Oh yeah. That's real nice.
Now you take a 2-bedroom that's rented for like, you know, $1,100. You got 20 of them things.
That's why I like the Midwest stuff and the e-commerce stores because it is like a bigger chunk and like it's just shooting off of like if it shoots me off $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like I am happy.
Yeah, 100%. You just got to get more of them.
Off of like a $30,000 to $40,000 investment that's shooting me off like $2,000 a month, bro. I am happy. That's why when I think like buying stuff cash in those markets actually makes sense, like with the yield.
It does.
So like, bro, I bought it cash and it's just shooting me off this much every month.
And essentially, it's kind of what we did with like Airbnb, right? I mean, we put $20,000 towards something and it kicks me back $2,000 a month. And recently it's been kicking us back $3,000 a month. So, you know what I mean? Like, it takes care of a lot of things at home where I'm able to focus a lot more on the business and find ways to make that business make more money.
Well, I truly think it helps you be a lot more aggressive, and you have to take a lot of risks in business.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be able to feel comfortable taking those risks. I think the cash flow is there, so you can just bet bigger.
So you can bet bigger.
and bet bigger and bet bigger, and like you can bet fuck it, bro.
It's like what they say about a bachelor's degree, right? A bachelor's degree isn't just the all and be all, right? You don't go get a bachelor's degree and just be like, okay, I'm cool. I'm about to go make this $80,000 to $100,000 a year. Like, no, bro, your bachelor's degree is a safety net. Your bachelor degree just tells you that you can bet on yourself. And worst case scenario, there's a landing spot that's not, completely shitty. Like worst case scenario, you fall down on $80,000 a year.
So I think the college degree is a lie, right? Because if any athlete
mm-hmm.
who didn't graduate with a degree and they're not in sales, then they're stupid.
Well, I'm just saying in general, like at the end of the day, someone will hire you. It may not be what you want to do,
right? But you can at least get a job.
You can get a good job that's going to help you live, a blue collar lifestyle. And you know what I mean? You may be living check to check, but you can still get a decent job. Stratton just disappeared on us. There you go. You back? So, but yeah, like I was saying, you can still get a decent job as a safety net where you'll be able to pay bills and stuff like that. So your bachelor's degree is just going to give you the opportunity to bet on yourself, really. So Strat disappeared on us, man. He's having some technical difficulties. I think I'm having difficulties too with my mic. He's telling me that it sounds like I'm coming from my computer. But yeah, if you guys are investing or you're new into investing, go ahead and drop some questions that you may have. Again, we're talking to the people on the live stream. And yeah, get to us. I don't know what's going on with them though. So we'll talk a little bit about what I have coming up, not real estate related. So we'll be going out of town. So we'll still be able to get the podcast up next Monday. I'll most likely be streaming from LA. So I'll be at that time. I really would be talking from my computer. So I'll just take all this stuff with me. If you guys haven't already, please go into our free agent REI Facebook group. Like Stratton said, we will be working on our course. And so definitely we want to be able to get as much feedback as possible. We want to make sure that people that's inside of that Facebook group are going to have access to this course and just giving us an idea of what you guys would be looking to see in that course. Strat, your audio only?
Yeah, bro, my computer just freaked out.
Well, that makes sense, bro. I mean, I'm the best looking one on the podcast. So, I mean, if they just need to hear your voice, as long as they can see me, I guess they'll still be good.
I mean, quit lying to yourself for one. Light skins rule the world.
Light skins rule the world. That's what you think, man.
How was your Father's Day, bro?
My Father's Day wasn't bad, bro. Like, we went to my wife's grandparents' house, took the kids swimming. Obviously, they barbecued, and people have been kind of supportive of our 75 hard. We had hamburgers, and we just put the hamburgers on tomatoes or lettuce or whatever that may be. But that's kind of what we did, man. Chug some water, listen to music, went swimming.
We had, Kalani made these like shrimp lettuce tacos.
Shrimp lettuce, ooh.
Fire.
Yeah. Fire. My uncle, he brought me back some, they went out to go eat at Kettleman's. And he brought back some steak and some bacon wrapped shrimp. Fire.
How was 75 hard going, bro? What's been the hardest part so far?
Bro, honestly, I mean, I don't think it's not like it's difficult. I mean, I don't know.
It's not difficult. It's just the monotonous.
It's just making sure that you get your shit done, bro. Like I don't know. I'm not a soft-minded person. You know what I mean? So I feel like if it's something that's super difficult for you, or you're struggling too bad on it, like I just feel like mentally you just gotta boss the fuck up. Like I don't know. Right. I mean,
it can't ever be because. Well, it can never be because of willpower.
No, never. And so yesterday, like I said, we were at my my wife's grandparents' house, and so we were there. We didn't leave till like 9:30, 10 o'clock, but I had already finished my water. Obviously the diet part of it is good. So then I had woke up in the morning. I had hopped on a Peloton because I knew we were going somewhere. You know what I mean? So I had knocked that out early. And so I knew I had to get an outdoor workout in, and I had to read the 10 pages. And so at that point, I mean, dude, we got home. I'm like laying around, kind of putting the kids to sleep and stuff like that. And you start feeling yourself start like nodding off. And I'm just like, fuck, bro. Nothing's worse than fucking going on my walk and I'm damn near sleepy because it's just getting yourself up and going again. But the biggest thing that scares me, I think, is the reading. When I wait that late,
falling asleep,
to get the reading in, bro, like literally, it may take me 30 minutes to read 10 pages, bro. But if I'm nodding off the whole goddamn time, that 30 minutes easily go to an hour.
Bro, dude,
so that may be the hardest part, to be honest with you, is when I wait too long to read. Everything else, that the physical aspect of it and the eating, I can knock that shit out. But that reading, bro, it gets to me if I do that too late.
The time management, dude. Time management of it all.
But you know what I mean? Like I know that I didn't, like I know I knocked out the stuff that I knew would be harder for me to get done later in the evening, like that workout, like just getting one of those workouts in. The rest of it's a breeze, bro. Because I could chug a gallon of water like nothing.
I can chug a gallon of water in like 30 minutes if I have.
You know what I mean? Like 2 hours, and I know. So there's been days I haven't started my water till 6 p.m. Yeah, but that's just because it don't fucking bother me. Like again, and so if I can get a workout in, don't let me finish my 10 pages before 4 o'clock, bro. Because I'm running laps around this bitch if I finish that reading early, bro.
You don't hit it in the morning?
Do the reading?
Yeah.
When I wake up, bro, like we go to sleep late, and so I probably get up around 7:30 ish, and at that point in time, I'm really just like not rushing, but my number one priority is getting out the door and getting to the office. And then when I get to the office, I'm not trying to waste my time reading when there's things I need to get done. So typically the reading will just take place when I get back home. And if there's a window, like where the kids are just in their room watching TV or playing, and me and my wife's just sitting on the couch, chilling, and the kids haven't came in and disturbed us within the next, the last 20 minutes, then it's like, okay, let's get the reading in. But if they're running in and out and stuff like that, I usually won't read because the way my mind works, I wouldn't be able to focus on it and really analyze and process what I'm reading. So the reading will typically take place late at night. And so that's just the biggest downfall of the 75 hard. But other than that, bro, like I'm loving it.
Bro, I'm telling you, just wake up 45 minutes earlier and like give yourself time not to rush and not to react, but to say like, this is what we're going to do, instead of like waking up and like,
well, and I say that like not like I'm in a rush, like, what I mean? Like there's no timetable to that. I personally like when I get up, like I go drink me a cup of water. I just start, moving at my own pace to kind of get ready, and everything is just geared towards getting to the office. Like that's kind of just like, that's like a habit of mine. It's just, to me, it's relaxing and taking my time, getting ready to go, not necessarily sitting down and reading. I don't know. I just like to go get it. And so I don't know.
The 4 a.m. mornings are my favorite mornings because I just get me time.
I go to sleep at 4 a.m.
That's bananas. I mean, good on you.
I don't wake up early like that, bro, but I don't wake up late, if that makes sense.
That's what's nice though, is you can fucking structure your life the way, whatever the fuck way you want.
I can stay up late, bro, and I still could get up at around 7:30. Like I'll fall asleep at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I know I'll be up by 8. So it's like people know that they can wake up early, whereas me, like I know my body's just like on a clock. So it's more of a struggle for me to stay up late. But yeah.
So when we were in Nebraska, my best friend fell asleep reading the book and failed.
Bro, how you fail if you can how do you fail?
He was like, bro, I got a page into it.
He fell asleep for the rest of the night?
For the rest of the night.
Oh yeah, no. Bro, if I'm getting tired, bro, and my time is set for fucking 1 o'clock, like I'm bumping that bitch to 2. Like just to allow myself to get back up. But like, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's the program isn't like a strict 12 o'clock like I thought it was. Remember originally? It's whenever you call it a night. You know what I mean? So I know at 2:00 my shit ain't done, bro. Like that shit's got to get bumped till 3. Like that's just what it. You know what I mean? I got to stay up until the shit gets done. And in my mind, I'm like, man, this shit is gonna fucking suck because I'm tired of shit. I can barely keep my eyes open. I still got to go on my walk. You know what I mean? But there's a mental side to it where it's just like, bro, I'm not failing because I failed to I've failed to plan today.
100%.
Like and I think that's the accountability part, right? We tell people on the podcast, our family knows that we're doing it. There's no way in hell that I'm gonna fucking tell someone that I wasn't able to complete it because of this. Like it's a fear, bro. It's almost like 6 a.m. when we were in football, bro. Like it's not 6 a.m. is not even what's bad. It's the fear of missing it and having to do it still, and then come the next morning, do it at 6, do it at 5 to 6, and then do it with the team from 6 to 7. Like it's a fear of missing it.
Red Dawn.
Oh, you guys called it Red Dawn? Yeah, we called it. It was just 6 a.m. for us.
So ours was like 4 a.m.
No, fuck that.
I called it Red Dawn, and if you fucked up, you had to be there. It was either 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Same thing. You'd have to be there an hour later if you messed up on one drill.
Oh, if you messed up on it. So ours was just we started. 6 o'clock. We're on the field. We're going for the lap. It started at 6 o'clock. And if you showed up at 6:01, you know what I mean, or you showed up as we were already going on the lap, you were going to still do that 6 a.m. You were going to come on Tuesday, and you're going to show up at 5 a.m. and you were going to do one at 5 a.m. and then you were going to do it with the team at 6. So that one that you thought it was worth that 5 minutes to stay asleep, that one 6 a.m. turned into fucking 3 of them.
What do you listen to on your walks? That's what I wanted to know.
I listen to Bigger Pockets. I like to hear people's stories. I like to hear how people utilize their money or how they finance certain deals or just different strategies that they use. I love listening to the Andy Frisella, right? Because his is short and sweet. I usually, his long ones are the ones that I'll use for my walks.
Yeah.
So just the ones where he's talking about just, whatever Andy talks about that fucking motivates you and makes you laugh as you're walking and shit. And then I listen to the Secret to Success podcast. And then if there's no new podcast,
fan of Bigger Pockets.
Well, it's an acquired, not an acquired taste, but you got to be intentional on what it is that you're actually.
You have to pick the right episode, dude.
Yes. Some of them, so I don't go through and listen to all the. No, like I read the titles, bro. I just go through, read the title. Okay, this sounds like something that I can make use for. I try not to clutter my brain with things that I don't need to be learning about or things that just
aren't applicable yet.
Applicable yet to what I do. Like if it's someone, how they went into wholesale, started Airbnb, how they took down 10 properties in 24 months using zero money. Like, bro, I'm gonna listen to that because I want to know what strategies they use to network and find the private money and how they structured moving things around. You know what I mean? Like I want to hear stuff like that. I want to hear how people got creative with certain things like that.
Did you ever go in Bigger Pockets when you just got started wholesaling?
I did, and they shit talked wholesaling the whole time, and so I really didn't listen. So then that's kind of what turned me against it. But I also think when you first get started in your wholesaling, there's a stigma to wholesaling, and you haven't matured enough in the thought process of solving problems and understanding that it's the fundamentals of real estate and finding deals and stuff like that. And so you take it personal. And then I think as you mature in real estate and you start realizing that, I learned the fundamentals of how to find a deal. And now I can listen, because there is great content on there. It's great content on how people are, finding their deals. And most of them find them through realtors and they find, through referrals and whatever it may be. Whereas we find our own fucking deals. So 80% of what they talk about is applicable to us, especially because we're going to be buying it deeper than a lot of those people who made it work by not buying it deeper. They paid wholesale fees.
Exactly. All right, bro. Let's wrap it up on that. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. You guys good? Any questions, comments, concerns?
Where do people find out how to comp properties? Where can they comp properties, bro?
PropStream, bro. Go to Mainline Comps. I made it easy for you guys. Instead of going to propstream.com, you can go to mainlinecomps.com. That's going to be my referral link. You're going to get 7 days free. And from there, you're going to be able to pull lists. You're going to be able to freaking send direct mail. You're going to be able to find cash buyers. You're going to be able to do all types of shit. So make sure that you guys go to mainlinecomps.com and enjoy that, man.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week. I can't wait. Oh, we're going to start doing pre-recorded ones. I think we have to. We've ran into a time problem, which I think is good.
It's a good thing, man.
I think it's good that
we had time, so we started this thing, man, knowing that we wanted to go live and interact with people. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a lot of people hopping on the live stream necessarily.
Because it's so sporadic. Because we're so
busy. It's so sporadic, and so at the end of the day, I think it makes more sense for us to just pre-record it. The benefit is they're going to be a whole lot shorter. They're going to be a whole lot shorter. They're going to be structured a little bit more, and so I think that's going to be a good thing. You guys will be able. We're on Apple Podcasts now, so if you guys aren't subscribed to us, you guys don't like using what was it? Spotify. You don't like using Spotify and all those other platforms for podcasting. Just go ahead and look up the Free Agent REI podcast on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, leave us a review, share it with some friends, and let's get that thing moving. Look like a real light skin, bro.
I got the nose ring too. Get the other side done next week. All right, guys.
Appreciate it, Bob.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Week.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you for tuning in to the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review. If you would like to stay in touch with Stratton and myself, follow us on Instagram. And please be sure to subscribe to our Free Agent REI Podcast YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up.